All right, guys, welcome to the Media Hijack podcast. I'm your host, Billy Walters, and joining me is Chris Unholy Jesus.
What's up, universe? What's good?
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a special episode filmed on a Wednesday for the first time ever.
All right.
And Bob, she's in the chat. Hey, Bob, since it was your birthday on Tuesday, how old are you? Because Chris said you're 38.
Happy birthday, Bob.
He said it straight up with no hesitation. He was like, "Oh, she's 38." I'm like, "God damn, how you?"
I was
That
guessing.
sound right. Like, I'm not really sure.
It was a guess though. It did, but the way I said it, it did sound like I was sure. But like, she's
Yeah, when you
38
said
now.
I was gonna say something to correct you, but then I was like, "That sounds right." 38 sounds. Damn, that's a big number.
Hey,
It's pretty old.
damn.
Damn, Bob is old. See, she said, "Yup, thanks." That's crazy.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. That's a whip. All right, so let's get
What?
started with the podcast.
The more you know.
All right, guys. So if you guys want to get some T-shirts before the holidays, I say you guys buy that shit right now.
Hell
Visit
yeah.
themediahijack.com, grab you a shirt, and then I'm going to be releasing 2 new designs next week. It's going to be pretty cool, man.
Okay. Are you gonna post it up on Instagram or?
Yeah, because when I think about it, we'd never really promoted the website on Instagram.
Nah, not at all.
It's just a little quick video, but it wasn't really a real, like, hey, buy some T-shirts.
Yeah, true.
I was like, what am I thinking the whole time?
Well, we got this. You know what? We got this now.
We
We'll
got
figure
it.
out.
And for you listeners out there, if you guys want to join us live on Twitch, go to twitch.tv/MediaHijack. Join us every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern.
Hell yeah.
And then if you guys want to watch the video, we post a video of the full podcast on YouTube.
Yes.
Got a link down there for you guys.
Yes.
And the most important thing, make sure you guys rate and subscribe. Give us a 5-star.
Please
Subscribe and leave us a nice comment on iTunes.
Hell yeah. I really want
That means you, Bob.
Yeah. Or anybody else that be
Fuck.
anybody that be showing me support on social media, like how we do the show and shit. Like, hey, congrats, you guys are good. Yo,
Just leave a
please
comment.
leave a comment. Subscribe, do all that good shit for us, please.
Yep. Chris is begging you.
Yes, I am.
From the bottom of his broken knees. His knees are
It's
broken.
My knees.
Ashy and all. Everything.
No lotion, just straight.
Blood. Cracked knees.
Like Ashley Larry.
Ashy. Bob, she said she did it a long time ago. That's the old podcast. This is the new one.
Oh my God. Come on, bro.
These boomers, they think their comment just travels through different podcasts. That's so wild.
Amazing.
All right, so let's get into the first topic. So the main topic for tonight, we're going to be talking about fear and anxiety.
Hell yeah.
I'm an expert.
Should be a good one. Should be a good one. I had an episode earlier this year, and it was fucking. God, I thought I needed a therapist. It was weird.
I think everybody needs a therapist.
I do. I agree with that.
Yeah, that's one of the things that it should be for free on your insurance.
Hell yeah, for real. I
Right?
didn't
I
think
think,
that.
like,
I agree.
Like the mental, your brain is the most important thing.
Hell yeah. How you
It
get-
makes
how you-
and break you, dude. That shit will
yeah.
fuck you up.
That's how you get through the day. Shit.
All right, so we'll talk about like one of the big stories that was released yesterday. So retired Israeli general claims aliens exist, and United States, they made contact with aliens a long time ago. Long time ago. And they said they made an agreement, shook hands with the aliens, and said, hey, we let you guys experiment with our people. And in exchange, you guys give us, some advanced technology. You hear about that? That's old school story.
Yeah, man. The deal, man. They're breaking deals with these aliens. Shit. So this is not even new news though. It's always been hinted at, like,
it's not new to the alien heads.
yeah.
But as far as the news being publicly announced,
True.
it's a big thing.
Yeah, it's big news.
It's very big because the Israeli commander guy, he's in the shit for like over 30 years in their Space Force program. It's not called Space Force program, but he's in the space program and over there in Israeli, and his like he's trusted. Like his credibility is
Pretty solid.
Is Yeah, it's solid. He's a respected guy. So for him to say something like that, it's a big deal. He's not playing around, not trying to get that clout, not
Yeah,
trying to get 100,000 followers.
just letting the people know what's up.
Just letting the people know, like they deserve to know, because I think now with the Pentagon, them releasing all this information that they found spacecraft that is out of this world.
Yeah.
They're more welcoming of people coming out now and just talking about everything now. They're just laying it all out there.
I wonder why is that though? Because I remember, yeah, they've been more like, because what did the Pentagon and the government came out saying like, "Hey, UFOs do exist. We letting y'all know. We know what y'all know now. Like since we all on the same page. Like you always hinted at like, yeah, I bet you the government knows about UFOs. Now the government's like, yeah, we know. So
Yeah, we been know.
man, let's. I don't know if they're expecting something big. I mean, I don't know what's about to go down, but
I think the reason why it's all coming out now is because the public, I guess, they're ready to know everything. Because even if we tell them, they're not going to freak out no more because their attention span is.
so we can't hide from this shit forever. So and besides, like every day it's like something new, so they'll forget about it by fucking Tuesday.
Yeah. So they said he said there's a bunch of secret underground military bases, like not just on Earth, but he was talking about Mars. Like they already have like colonies out there, underground bases.
Yeah, because you can't live on that damn surface. So that's always wondered, like when NASA's like, "There's no signs of life on this planet."
Lies.
I'm like, yeah, it's inside the planet.
Lies.
They can't live on that surface, man. That shit ain't no.
Katie, what's up? Katie Long.
Katie Long, what's good?
Welcome.
How you doing? Yeah, but okay. What if it's like this? They're telling us about the existence of UFOs because they're gonna want to blame it like, oh, you know what? The UFOs dropped COVID on us. It wasn't China or some shit. I don't know. Seemed like
It was China.
a lot of shit going on. Unless they gave it to China and then China fucking used it. Who knows? There's too much going on right now in the world.
I mean, once everybody gets vaccinated, it's a wrap.
Or what if they're like this? The UFOs gave us this vaccination, and that's why we have to worship them. But actually, like the U.S. government's actually like in some kind of like weird alien death cult, some shit.
Or the government is dumb. They've been running the whole show for a long time now.
Oh hell yeah! Just pulling them little strings.
They've been doing it for a long time. They're like, government? Who, us?
We got bosses. My boss is a boss.
Valorant Thor? To the front, please.
That's a throwback for you guys right there. That's a,
Yep, so that's that. Israeli guy coming out saying everything about aliens
okay. Let's
being real. What else we got?
All right, so just found this out today. Breakdancing gets Olympic status to debut in Paris Games in 2024. So breakdancing, it's gonna be an Olympic sport now. Should have been like this forever ago.
It's going to be a bunch of Koreans and Filipinos.
No, it's coming out. A lot of New Yorkers like gonna bring out them cardboard boxes. Them Adidas. So they're gonna get down. This is the International Olympic Committee's pursuit of urban events to lure younger audiences. Saw street dance battles officially added to the medal events program 2024 Paris Games.
Slow down. You lost me. 24 Paris, what?
Sorry, the 2024 Paris Games. Also confirmed for Paris by the IOC Executive Board, where skateboarding, sport climbing, and surfing. So those are other events that's being added to. Skateboarding, fuck, I can get behind that. Sports climbing, I could probably watch that. Surfing, that'd be dope. But this is good events, man. Also too, I noticed like with stuff like this, like skateboarding and with breakdancing, which is like really big in like inner cities and all that. And a lot of kids who probably come from like broken homes and all that, or just might be poor, whatever, may participate in these events. It'd be good, maybe for them to want to push.
But it's Olympics, so they have to be really good.
Yeah, but shit, a lot of they don't stop people from trying to like people in the hood.
They're not gonna make it. This is not American Idol or America's Best Dance Crew.
I agree with you on that, but also at the same time too, it's like it doesn't stop a lot of people from in the hood from.
Of course, they can try.
Want to be LeBron James or somebody in the NFL. So I mean, it's good motivation, I guess. And I like breakdance too. This shit's dope. Skateboarding's dope too.
You know what they need in the Olympics? Like MMA, dude. They got boxing. Why don't they put MMA in there?
Yeah, I wonder why is that. I don't know. That's
Maybe
actually
too much blood. I don't know.
Yeah, I would. Is it not like a? I think MMA isn't that like a universal thing? I think every country participates in that type.
Didn't
of
Rome
shit,
did those battles where they kill each other?
Yeah, because I know boxing's like a global thing. Like in every country, boxing's a thing. So don't
I
know
guess boxing is more graceful. I guess it's more cleaner.
like technical fighting where fucking UFC, you be woof.
Savages.
Oh my god, my leg.
And then like the guy is like he's about to die, right? And then the ref takes forever to stop the fight.
Oh yeah.
And then everybody's like,
what happened?
when are you gonna stop the fight? This dude is laid out, like passed out cold.
Like he's not moving, man.
Then Dana White got so mad, he's like, man, I'm gonna fire that guy. That's the worst stoppage ever.
And you'll never see that ref again, I promise you.
Katie says Tony Hawk will be the judge
Oh, that'd be dope.
of a breakdancing competition.
Yeah, but yeah, basically that's pretty much it. It's a pretty short story, just talking about like how
cool.
it's been initiated to the Olympics. I usually just watch track and field for Olympics because like I used to run track and shit like that. That was like my thing back in the day.
Really?
So
I didn't know that.
yeah, I ran track.
Were you fast?
Fuck yeah. Especially if the dog was chasing me.
I used to be fast. Now I'm old and slow.
I can still run fast, but boy, I'll feel it the next day. I'm like, oh, my legs.
I'll lose my breath after like 10 feet.
But yeah, I used to run track in high school and all that. I mainly did like my junior and senior year, and track and field is my favorite event. So now if they're gonna add this to it, I'll be watching more of the track and field events now. So shout out to them. Let's go.
Is that it for that one?
Yeah, that was a short story.
Katie says she liked figure skating.
Figure skating is dope too. I checked it out every day.
What's her name? Christy Yamaguchi? Was that one?
The Asian chick?
Yeah, she was doing like somersault and shit.
Oh yeah. I just know Tanya Harding when she's like breaking legs and shit.
Oh yeah, she got hit with a steel cage.
What? What are you? What is going on here?
In other news, well, it's not really news, but the youngest age you should date according to your age.
Oh.
Like according to your age, like what do you think will be like the amount of years that you can date like somebody younger? Like how many years would you go?
It's funny that this happened because like the other day at work, this chick walked past my desk, whatever, said something's all right, cool, whatever, say hi to her, whatever. And then another employee that works there was like, you should think about dating. How old are you? I was like 35. And I was like, I'm 35. He's like, oh yeah, she's too young for you. She's like 21.
Ooh, that's way too young.
And in my brain, I was thinking like, well, I was like, he asked me like how low I go with it. And I was like, at the very least, I was like, is he 35? I was like, maybe 27. That's the lowest I'll probably go. So about 8 to 7 years I'll go, maybe. 10 or more? Hell no. That's a whole nother, that's a little too much for
14
me,
years?
20? Like, I could even make jokes and they would understand it. So that's a no. So I'll say like 7, 8 years.
Yeah, I think 7 would be like a max.
Yeah.
Well, according to this,
Oh, fuck.
right, they're saying like the right way to do it is if you want to date down, you take your age, divide by 2, and then add 7.
Man, I don't know how to do math.
And that's like the youngest you can go.
So take your age, divide by 2. So half of 35 will be, fuck, I don't know.
It'll be like 26, 27 or something.
Okay, so that'd be right in that ballpark. That still might be too damn high.
I can't count either, man.
I mean, I'm trying to break it down. You said divide by 2 by your age.
Where's the Asian people at?
And then
So if you're 35, divide by 2 plus 7.
Katie Long says,
So the youngest would be like 24.
24.
So you can almost date that 21-year-old according to like a
Hell no, that's still too much.
24.5.
24.5 years old. So 24 and a half years old.
So for me, I'm 33. So the youngest I can date is 23.5.
Okay, so basically 10-year difference ish.
Damn, that's 10 years?
Yeah. Said 23 for you?
Yeah.
Damn, okay.
Damn.
Chew.
And if you want to date up, you subtract 7 from your current age and then just double that. So mine would be minus 7.
I'd be 28. And then do what?
Is your age minus 7, and then
7.
you double it. So I can date somebody
50,
like 52.
So I would be...
And it'd be cool.
52, 53,
You'd be like 54.
yeah.
So you can date a cougar that's at least 54, and it would be considered like normal according to these
Okay, this is interesting.
this stupid article.
Live how you want.
Katie said, "What kind of lame shit is this?" Hey,
Live how you want, people.
Chris, he was just dealing with the situation.
Somebody did ask me this.
Somebody
like,
was
Monday.
21, and he's like, "Oh man, what's the youngest you can date?"
Yeah, because there's an older guy.
I mean, there's no rules. I mean, 18, I guess, would be like fair game, but without being disgusting, that would be way too young.
Well, because there's like an older guy who asked me, he's like, because I don't look 35, I look a little bit younger, maybe like late 20s or whatever, early 30s. And so the guy who was older than me, he got to be in his 50s. He had asked me at work, like, oh, yeah, so he's like, hey, you should date her. Like, how old are you? I was like, I'm 35. I was like, that's not going to happen. He's like, yeah, that's a little too old for you. And I was like, I probably said, at the least, I was like, 27 would probably be like my range if I went low. And then he's like, yeah, I feel you. And he just walked away. So then they hear this, and I'm like, oh, that's funny. I literally just had something like this happen.
Worked out.
Yeah, went full circle on that one. All right.
What else we got?
Right. Did you have anything for HBO Max? We can jump on that real quick.
Oh, go for it.
All right. So HBO Max, holy shit, this fucking broke the internet last week. This was like the biggest. I think this is probably the biggest story last week for like a lot of things, especially like if you're a movie head and whatnot, and you've been wondering like, hey, what's going to happen to theaters? Because COVID's been movie theaters already been hurting prior before COVID, but COVID's been almost like damn near the nail in the coffin, especially for like AMC and shit like that. And so now HBO Max, which was already going to release their Wonder Woman movie on December 25th, instead of like releasing in theaters, starting next year from January all the way through the year of 2021, as far as right now, so I think Warner Brothers is releasing 17 movies in theaters in total. All 17 of those movies, they'll still be released in theaters, but they'll also be releasing the same day on HBO Max, the same day. So if you want to go to movies in theaters and watch it, you can. If you want to stay home and watch it, that's cool too.
Do you still pay the same price that you paid?
Nothing changes with it. Like,
damn.
So that's why everybody's like, there's got to be a catch. And even I was looking up shit. I'm like, what's the catch? And it's like, the only thing is like after December 25th, they're no longer going to do like free week subscribers or whatever like that. They get rid of that shit. So that's going to be going after December 25th. After that, if you're going to go HBO Max, you got to subscribe. No more free trials, shit like that.
That's not fun. How do I know if I like it?
Hey, HBO Max is my favorite shit now. I watch that more than any other streaming service I got right now. Not YouTube. YouTube's like my main shit, but as far as like movie streaming service, HBO Max is like
I'll get it to watch like Wonder Woman, Matrix 4, Mortal Kombat. Mm-hmm. What's that other one? It's like a cartoon.
Tom and Jerry.
I didn't even know. I
didn't even know there was coming out a Tom and Jerry movie till last week when then they was talking about HBO Max. I was like, there was a Tom and Jerry movie coming out?
I was like, they're making another Mortal Kombat?
And you know that Mortal Kombat movie comes out next month on the 25th? I think on the 15th.
I'll get it next month.
But the crazy thing is, there's not a trailer for it, so
I don't need one.
I need something. I need to see how this is gonna look. But either way, so basically, like these movies will be released on the dates that it's supposed to. So like Matrix 4, all that shit. There's a lot of movies I want to see next year too. That's gonna come to HBO Max, and they'll be on the platform for 31 days.
Oh, so that's the catch. No, so it's not staying on there.
No, not forever. So it's like you're on there 31 days. After that, they remove it, and then you probably won't see it again until it gets released on a streaming service, probably maybe like a year later or some shit like that.
So that's the catch.
You can watch as many times as you want in 31 days.
Yeah, but they'll take it out.
They'll never remove it after that for 31 days, yeah.
I mean, that's cool, but
I'm with it, because especially like
how much is it a month anyway?
I think $14.99.
Oh, that's the same as everything else, right?
Yeah, basically. Like, 'cause I know Netflix just went up recently too, so it's like.
Wait, Disney is like the cheapest one.
Hulu.
It's like $5.99 on Disney.
Yeah, Hulu's $5.99 too. I just canceled my Hulu like last week, so I was like, I don't watch Hulu like that. Like, except for it's like.
I use Bob's Hulu and I don't even watch it.
As if I'm watching Wu-Tang, the American Dream, that's the only time I watch Hulu, and they just finished the first season, so I'll be back when y'all put it back up. Then till then, peace out. So yeah, if you, I don't know, this ain't looking good for movies. I'm curious to see what's like their biggest competition, which I'm assuming would be like Disney and Netflix, of course, and all that. Like, well, Netflix can't really do shit in this situation. They're kind of like just whatever. But something like Disney, who they got a couple movies where, like for example, like with Mulan, which came out, I think.
That's pretty good.
And I still haven't seen it yet. I know it's free now on Disney Plus. Before they would charge like a $30 paywall to watch Mulan before. So what's Disney gonna go do for? Because they still got that Black Widow movie that that movie's been pushed around for like over a year now. That's how much they've been pushing it back. And a lot of people are saying like, hey, Disney, you need to release it. And Disney's kind of like, no, we're not. If they do decide to go do it, like, release Black Widow, I think it's gonna be more like behind a paywall, such as like how they did with Mulan. I mean, they got to get their money back somehow, and I don't know. This is a gamble, though. I'm curious to see, because I know by what's today, the 9th. next week on December 15th, Disney's Plus, like, what Disney's supposed to be having like this big ass fucking meeting, and they're supposed to be putting something together that's supposed to rival that of what Warner Brothers is doing. So
do the same thing. Just release all the movies.
that's what I was like, if that's it, that's nothing like really, it's not really groundbreaking news. So yeah, we got that going. So yeah, if you got HBO Max, celebrate. Because movie theater experience is cool. Certain movies you got to see, but stuff like horror movies, I don't like watching in theaters because, especially like as a black guy who lives in Atlanta, and Atlanta being predominantly black, you don't want to see horror movies in a lot of these theaters because there's gonna be a lot of fucking commentary and shit. At least when I go to, at least when I go to in Stonecrest, there's a lot of commentary, and I'm like, yo, I'm just trying to focus on what the fuck's going on.
I've never been there ever before.
What, Stonecrest?
I don't even know where it's at.
Yeah, somewhere outside of town. It's a dope mall, dope movie theater. Just horror movies, I'd rather watch that shit at home. Like a movie like Hereditary.
I think scary movies, you can only watch it in the theater because that's where you get scared. Because you can't really get scared at home unless you have like a awesome ass sound system and shit.
And that should be pretty solid. And
so I prefer, like, if it's a scary movie, I'd rather watch it in the theater. If not, it's not the same feeling at home.
I think it's more scary, at least at my apartment, because I have no neighbors. And like when I had my friend coming to town, we was watching Hereditary. We were hearing noises in the vacant apartment on behind me, like
Some real
so that's
shit.
I was like, yo, you want to get scared, yo, come to my spot. You might shit yourself. It's very uncomfortable. It don't bother me. I'm used to it.
Some bonus sounds.
I don't know if somebody's squatting in that place or what, but be quiet, banging on the walls.
In other news, so mystery creature blamed for strange deaths near a bridge in Zimbabwe. So in a bizarre story out of Zimbabwe, a series of strange deaths near a bridge have been attributed to a mystery creature. Some suspect that it could be a mermaid. So lately over there in Zimbabwe, famous bridge out there, a lot of people have been dying like mysteriously. And they're saying it cuts back to like a story like a long time ago, like I think it's back in the 70s, where a whole bunch of students will die at that bridge. And then it'll stop, right? And then now it's reoccurring again, like today.
It also goes like for like,
And they're trying to blame it on some type of creature that they say that lives in that lake and shit.
that shows up every so often. Kind of like what's that movie?
The Korean one?
Jeepers Creepers. I was thinking about, like, he shows up like every 23 years to like hunt, and then
Or it?
like every like 27 years.
Or remember that I don't know if it's Korean or Japanese, but they had that lake monster that I guess he evolved it, and he would like hang like from the bottom of the bridge.
What?
It's a cool ass. I forgot the damn title of the movie, but it's like this big ass lake monster,
And it's just
and
like,
it will chase like all these Korean people like on the street. It's so fucking cool.
like in a regular street, like just like in the city.
Yeah.
Damn. What the fuck is this?
Damn, I forgot the title.
They be making the best horror movies, man. I be watching some of that shit.
But yeah, so a lot of people are dying over there in Zimbabwe. Famous place for like UFO sightings too.
Does anybody have like an idea what the creature looks like, or is like a
mermaid.
Mermaid. Okay, that's what it was. Okay, I kept thinking like the Loch Ness monster for some reason. I'm like,
It could be that too.
because my brain was like ain't nobody see this giant motherfucker.
You know, people like to exaggerate on whatever they see.
For real.
Like, yeah, it looks like a mermaid. It's like, oh no, it looks like Nessie. You're both liars.
Lies. I can't
Those
even
are
get
completely two different animals.
can't even get this story right. Jesus,
It's like those guys just drowned themselves.
ain't that a bitch?
You got anything?
I got one more story, and then we can probably hop on the main topics. Let's see. Okay, so all right, so this has been this weird thing going on in the state of Florida, right? For all those who don't know, whatever, this is basically like government. This is basically like the shit that a lot of people be worried about the government trying to like silence people and shit like that. This story is it right here, right? So there's like a raid. It's like a raid on Florida COVID data expert's home. Was American over policing in action. So basically, there's this lady named Rebecca Jones, right? She was like a data analysis, if I remember correctly. She was a data analysis. Basically, just put out information for COVID numbers and all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess like Governor what's his name, Ron DeSantis. He didn't like. I remember hearing about this earlier this year too. He was trying. He basically like he was going out to the public to speak to the people about the COVID numbers, and he was like lying about it or whatever. But what he was saying in public and with the numbers that her and her company were showing, like, hey, these are actually real numbers. He's lying. And so he started putting pressure on her, or supposedly the story goes that they were putting pressure on her and whatnot to, hey, and the people in her division that she worked in was like, hey, like, you guys need to, change these numbers. Basically lie to the public, and she refused to do it. So she got fired back in May, right?
Wait, what's her name?
Rebecca Jones.
Oh, so that's what happened.
What? Talking about the lady with the police came.
Because I kept seeing her name everywhere, like on Reddit. I was like, who the fuck is Rebecca
this
Black?
shit is like, it's Friday. What the fuck?
Goro, what's up? I see your thing, but I'm let Chris finish this, and then we're gonna go into the fear topic.
So she got fired back in May at her job, and then so she kept it moving, and then she started her own little website and everything like that, and was still putting out like legit numbers and information of COVID numbers. Now, I'm assuming Ron DeSantis didn't like this shit because next thing you know it,
What was wrong with the numbers?
the numbers were showing like these are like this how many people dying. Here's the areas that are affected. Who's infected? Da da da.
So what's wrong with that?
Well, the governor out there and the government out there in Florida was saying the numbers that they were telling the public were not matching the numbers of reality of it. Kind of like there was lying.
Was it lower or higher?
More likely it's going to be lower. They didn't want the numbers to show like it was high as it was. Like, oh, that's just people's fears. This is the real numbers. We shouldn't be worried. And
So why would on TV they show us higher?
Was that higher than what it was? But shit, I don't know how Florida runs.
Like her numbers didn't match up to what they were showing on TV.
Or like, I guess what they was probably doing press conferences and all that. It wasn't matching up to what they were saying. Because not everybody watches the news either, so I don't know how they would know. But
She's a scientist.
so basically, yeah, she's just data analysis, and then she's basically like a whistleblower, right?
Bob could have been a whistleblower.
And
She sees all the information too.
oh shit,
She's like, oh, we just got like 5.5 new people. I was like, you better shut up, whistleblower.
don't say
You
a
shut your
word.
damn mouth.
Don't snitch. Okay. All right. So basically, like, okay. So it says that she was like pretty much basically fired from the Department of Health because she refused to manipulate the data to make COVID risk look lower than it was, and for publicly questioning the transparency and accessibility of the data. So a lot of stuff like they was putting on say like on the internet. So if you use a Floridian, they wanted to know. They were kind of covering that shit up too. Basically, if you want to know the truth about the numbers of COVID outbreak and all that, the government out there was keeping that shit hush hush.
I think it is low because if you go to like those testing centers, it's like fucking like it's quiet. It's like deserted. There's not really a lot of people like what you would think.
You know what I mean?
Like in the testing centers and stuff. Unless you're like in like big busy cities or people have to get tested for work and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's though. Like I know, for example, like some jobs is like if you get tested in that time frame that you have to wait to get tested, you can't return to work at all until you get your results back. And some people take like a week, and in a country like this, we can't afford a week off of work because you'll be behind on some bills like a motherfucker. So, because I was even faced with the option too, and I was like, I mean, y'all just take my temperature and we'll keep it at that because I can't afford missing a week of work just to wait to get some results back. So, anyways, right? So she's So what the big story comes in is that she was at her house and she had set up like a little web camera and everything, and Florida cops came knocking on the door like boom, 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 kicked on the door and everything like that. She wanted to post this video on her Twitter page. Cops came busting in, pulling out guns, like, hey, come out the house, da da da. Who else is in the house? It's like my kids and my husband. I was like, all right. And I guess when the cops went in, it was like, hey, upstairs, cop pulled out a gun, everything. Basically, they took everybody at the house, and I think she was yelling at one of the cops, like, don't point that gun at my kids, da 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 da. Take everybody to the house. And the only thing they took from her was like her work, like her cell phone that she does all her like.
So they're trying to scare her or what?
That's what at first she was like, well, I didn't think they took anything or they was gonna take anything at first, but then they took a hard drive and they wound up taking like her cell phone where she kept all her contacts with people who like that's all like helping out with this information too. And so I would have blown the whistle. That's the only thing they took from the house. And
They took the whistle too.
yeah, they took the whistle too. They took all that shit.
Give me that whistle.
And so then she went after they did an interview with her. She's standing tall. She was like, like y'all can take my shit, but I'm gonna just buy some more stuff tomorrow and keep it going because you can't keep lying to these people or keep trying to act like this is not a big deal when the numbers are contradicting what you guys are saying. So I mean, I'm like this, man. I'm always like, power to the whistleblowers. Y'all want to call out the people in power. I'm always gonna be behind that 100% because I don't know. I don't trust the government, and I trust the government as far as I can throw it. I think they have every single reason to lie to American people every chance they can get. So,
Because
fuck it.
the American people can't handle the truth.
I don't know. Hell no.
But it seems like if the numbers is off like that, like they're giving us numbers where it's scaring people when that's not the real numbers, that's weird.
What do you mean?
Because that's like they're actually trying to scare people. If those numbers are fake, like the numbers they're giving out in the public, showing like a high amount of number, as against to like if it's real that is not that many people that's getting infected.
Yeah, I think what I've started noticing every time I kept looking it up is like it seemed like the death toll is dropping with it, but the infection rate is still going up higher. And they did warn about this earlier this year because of course during the wintertime, that's when germs get spread around the most.
That's when people get sick.
Yeah, that's what happens. That's why I don't be around nobody. So
Goro says, "Here's real facts. Literally everyone dies. No one is immortal."
I don't know. Only the iCloud. Yep. Only the iCloud is immortal. But it's interesting story. I would recommend everybody like check it out. It's if you were looking for a new whistleblower to get behind, another Edward Snowden, jump on that shit. 'Cause it's actually a really good.
She's gonna get exile.
Oh,
is that the word where
exile.
they send you into another country?
Yeah. Oh, they exile her out of Florida or whatever the fuck she's still. Yeah,
she's
Florida.
gonna be living in like fucking a box in Russia.
Yeah, what was Snowden was like in Spain, I think. No, India, I think, or some shit. He's living with some family. Yeah, supposedly. Yeah, I mean, why would he tell us?
He might be in like a jungle in Cambodia and shit, using satellite.
Just pardon that dude, man. Shit.
Let him back in. Let that white man back in.
Even if I was pardoned,
why you gotta say he's white?
Even if I was pardoned, if I was Edward Snowden, I still wouldn't come back to America because you just going right to like that's much. Oh, he committed suicide as soon as you move back to America. That might be a trap.
I don't know.
Just live in Mother
government's kind of nice now. They don't kill nobody.
All right,
guys. I'm gonna take a quick leak, and then we're gonna jump into the fear and anxiety.
Yes, hold tight.
Girl said a lot of stuff. I read it, but I couldn't really say anything. All right, so be right back, guys. Yeah. Don't look back in anger. I heard you say, "Bow, bow, 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 bow."
We back?
And we are back, guys.
Damn, it's cold in here.
So we're gonna start talking about anxiety and fear. But let's see what Goro said.
Yeah.
Goro says, "Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering." What are you laughing?
The Star Wars.
Oh, Chris, get focused.
That's what it is.
What's Star Wars?
That's Star Wars.
Oh, that's where it came from? Oh, I thought you were on your phone.
No.
Oh, my
man,
bad.
no.
My bad. I didn't mean to scold you. He says, is this Star Wars too? He says, once you start down the dark path forever, will it dominate you? Will it dominate your destiny? Consume you? It will. This sounds like it's from like a quote from something. All right, so, okay, let's get to this. All right, so for me, fear is the underlying cause of depression. Although depression can be easily cured by, you guessed it, or you probably didn't, but psychedelics can be. Psychedelics can cure depression. If you don't believe it, try it.
For real.
Look at Bob. Bob's not depressed no more.
You never know.
Bob was like, I was never depressed. I just wanted drugs. She's like, I just want to get high.
No, it does help. It really does.
All right, so anxiety is a behavioral problem, and it's more of a thinking pattern than a chemical imbalance in the brain. Mm-hmm. That's what they're coming to now. Mm. Like I don't think it's like an imbalance. It's more of like a thinking pattern where it all builds up from as you were like a child. Your anxiety just builds up like all that fear from when you're a kid to growing up as an adult with responsibilities. Oops. And then anxiety starts building.
Yeah.
Bob says, I'm not depressed. Okay.
I have anxiety.
Should have anxiety.
Dude, I think every millennial has anxiety. That shit this world is rough.
Well, I mean, because there's so many shit that can happen to them now. Yeah, they're all seeing shit on the internet, so they're seeing all this crazy shit, and then it makes them not really want to do anything. Yeah. Because a lot of the younger millennials, like the young ones, a lot of them don't even drive because they have a fear of driving, ever even getting behind the wheel. Mm-hmm. So they prefer to do the Uber or use the bus or a train.
Yeah. It's damn, I'm not if I get behind the wheel of a car, I'm not making it back. And that shit can be crippling too. I've watched some YouTube videos of where people won't even their anxiety levels are so high that they don't even want to leave the fucking house type shit. It's they just order like if they want to go shopping, they'll just have it delivered to them or something. They
I do that.
Drive nowhere.
I do that.
I think it's more out of convenience for us though.
I think I have. I mean, I haven't been to a Walmart even before COVID.
Yeah, I remember you did tell me
Like
that before.
inside.
Yeah. You was doing it before it got hip.
I haven't even been inside any grocery stores like over a year now.
Yeah, you ain't missing shit. It's great. If you ever thought that it was bad before, it's much worse now. It's fucking chaotic.
I don't even know what it feels like to walk through aisles.
No, for real. Yeah, that's how
I
long it's
don't
been.
even know.
So it's been like over a year, maybe.
Over a year, yeah.
Damn.
Shop online, they do it for me. I'm like, why would I waste my time and look for something where I could look for like while I'm working?
Well, true.
Or like when I'm in bed, I was like, let me just grocery shop real quick.
And they'll drop it off.
Jeremy says Justin Wong still don't drive. I buy a beer at the gas station, Bob. Gas stations I'm familiar with.
And then they're usually not crowded unless you go to like the Quick Trip.
Yeah. And now like my gas station, they got drive-through, so I could just be like 12-pack Corona.
Which one? Cross tracks?
Road track, racetrack.
They got a drive-through? Holy shit.
Yeah, they got drive-through.
Damn.
I get my breakfast there.
Damn. Quick Trip. You slipping. What you doing?
I think they have drive-throughs at some of them.
I've never seen one on my side of town.
All right, so one of the main reasons why people even try psychedelics is their inability to function normally. People like they can't really do shit correctly. They're like really awkward, like kind of like me a little bit.
Mm.
I think like that's like one reason. I just want to be like a normal human because I'm kind of crazy sometimes.
I think we're all.
I'd be like off the wall a little bit.
I think we're all a little crazy.
I'd be like, hey, what's wrong with you? Like, shit, I don't know, man.
Just,
I was like, who said that?
who said that?
Who said that?
That's how I roll, man. I think we all a little crazy. We all got a little craziness in us.
Start talking to myself driving to work.
I do talk to myself a lot though, and there's nothing wrong with that. I hate that people make it seem like is. I think if you talk to yourself out loud, that's when it's an issue. Like this guy I see all the time.
I do it out loud.
If I'm in my apartment by myself, I'll make not like a full blown conversation, but say like. I don't know, say if I'm playing video games and I'm like, I fuck up, I'm like, fucking Chris, you idiot, like, get your shit together, what the fuck? Like,
Oh, that's normal.
that's normal, right? I'm not like a full-blown, like, this is guy I see at my job all the time. Well, not anymore, but he literally talks to himself out loud. For the longest, I always thought he had like a little Bluetooth in his ear. He'd be walking past, like,
Never had one.
never had one. When I found out, I was like, oh my God, like, this dude was having, I would hear him, like, before the elevator doors would open up, I would hear, like, talking back and forth, but when it open up, it's just him. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, I thought he was having a conversation with somebody.
Yeah, stuff like that you do it at home.
Yes, do that
Or in
shit
the
else.
car. I do it in the car. I'd be telling jokes and be like, where'd you get that joke?
I don't do all that now.
I was like, that shit was pretty funny.
I don't do any stand-ups or anything.
It was like the other side is like the really funny side. Where'd you get that joke?
Damn, that's
Like, I just
brilliant.
made it up.
That's brilliant. I need to write that down.
All right. So there are only 2 emotions that shape our reality. You know what it is?
2 emotions.
That shape your whole reality. Only 2 emotions. Can you guys guess what it is?
Is it happiness and fear? Happiness and fear. I'm going
Yeah,
with
I would accept that.
that. Okay.
Love and fear.
Damn.
Happiness
that was close.
would be in there.
Yeah. Okay.
You read my shit.
Doc, I swear to God.
You're a
did.
fraud.
I swear I did.
But yeah, you got it. Happiness, fear, love, or fear. Pretty much the same thing. And you know, everything is a byproduct of those 2.
Yeah.
Or an extension of those 2. Bob said fear. You're late, Bob.
Oh, God.
But yeah, you got one.
Jeremy, fear.
Yep. It's all a matter of choice. You either opt for the love package or the fear package. This is how people treat their life. Like if you go through life with a bunch of fear, you're never gonna really gain anything because you're afraid of everything. You never try anything new. So you opted for that fear package. You're like, dude, I'm afraid of everything, and because in your head you already said, hey, I'm not gonna try it because I already see myself failing.
Yeah.
So a lot of people they never even tried in the first place. They said, I can't do it. So they never really get that far.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that as like you wouldn't even give yourself a chance to even try. Like you say, it's like your mind's already made up that you're gonna fail, and that right there is like you're really gonna fail if you're not gonna try. That's the ultimate failure. There's nothing wrong with losing, but I think
Losing is the best way to learn.
it's a good teacher. Failure is like the greatest fucking teacher that anybody could ever learn. I mean, as long as it doesn't like you end up like I don't know. it ends you up in prison for life or some shit like that. You can't really bounce back from that. But you know what I'm saying? Like it's like failure is actually a very, very good teacher. If you're not crazy enough to keep making the same mistakes again. But I mean, I don't know.
I think as long as you try it, you're good. You're always gonna keep growing as long as you're trying.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you don't try, you're not gonna move anywhere. You're gonna stay in that little hole.
Yeah, forever.
All right. So the good news and the bad news. So the bad news. Anxiety cannot be easily cured immediately by psychedelics. So it's not no one-time drug, you take it, and then, I'm free of anxiety. It's not that simple. Because anxiety has a lot to do with years of shaping a neural network in your brain through environmental conditioning. So you get it through life, pretty much.
Okay.
Your anxiety builds over through everything that you've been going through your whole life.
Okay, so it's not just
So it's
something
like
that...
all that shit's ingrained in your brain. If you have a fear of this, that, whatever, everything is built up over years. So it's not like a simple fix that any drug can do.
Okay, so it's not like anything that's like spontaneous, like just out of nowhere. It's always been like just thing that's been just like a buildup, I guess. You know, I guess that's what I'm trying to think of.
It's like you being stuck in a pattern, and it's not. You cannot easily just break a pattern like that.
Fuck no. I think because everybody's a creature of habit on certain things, even on a thinking level, and I don't know. It's hard to change once you kind of like stuck like into a habit like of an everyday thing, and so it's like I guess like if with the psychedelic or whatever, if you want to use a deal with like anxiety or whatever, would you have to go through like what was that the video I saw like last week or the week before, like a psychedelic therapy to help you
exactly.
go through the process
Exactly. Good shit, Chris.
every Tuesday.
You get a golden star.
Hey man, yeah.
But yeah, you can use psychedelic as a tool to help your anxiety, and you can use it like for meditation mostly. Like so, people will go to like mental therapy sessions, and they would involve psychedelics, and they would do that treatments like a bunch of times, so they could slowly treat their anxiety and slowly get out of that.
It's not. It can't be a rush process. You gotta take your time with that shit.
Nope. There's no drug yet unless they created one.
and I can kind of see it too, where like if somebody's rushing you to change, say like if I have like a habit of like doing like heroin or some shit like that, and then my family's like, you need to stop fucking Chris, you stop doing heroin, instead of like
pull that needle out.
Fuck, you better stop no more.
Well, then you got another needle in their mouth.
Like a needle under the tongue. I can see why it would be a process to have to break it down, because when you try to force somebody to change, it makes them step away even more. You gotta gotta bring them down a little bit slowly, because when somebody's like trying to force you to change, it's like, man, fuck you. Like, why are you so bossy? It's a turnoff, you know?
It's not gonna work. And then it all starts with you. Like, people can't help you like that.
You gotta want to.
Yeah, you gotta want to get help.
Yes, I've had family members who want drugs, and it was like, damn, ain't nothing we can do for them until they want to stop doing it. So it's like, can't be.
Even though you want to help, you can't really help.
Yeah.
All right, so the good news, and we spoke about it. So thanks to psychedelics, you now have access to important knowledge about yourself. Because when you use psychedelics, you're pretty much getting to know yourself, like your true self.
Hell yeah.
Like if you have a real trip, not just getting high off the mushrooms, because I think Bob, she only got high off the mushrooms. She didn't really have a profound real trip yet. So I don't think she know how the effects of, like the positive effects of taking psychedelics yet. Because I don't think she even made it to the trip zone. Because that's when it's really working.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Because the methods of reshaping your personality and your behavior that will eventually lead to getting anxiety under control and to a recovery.
Yeah.
So it helps you slowly get to know yourself, because everything comes like within you. Like you have to deal with like your demons and stuff up. Like you have to deal with your real self.
Yeah.
But then you can start fucking reshaping like how you think and everything, and that'll slowly break down like whatever anxiety you have.
That was like when I had my trip and I finally realized what was my situation. Actually, when I really thought about it, I was like, okay, let me think about a little bit more about like what I really experienced and whatnot. I finally realized what it was. Is that I feel like I just kind of want to. I don't know if it's whatever. Like I want to be loved as much as equally as like I love someone else. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to share something with somebody. Like for example, like with my friend who came out of town back in October to visit me. I remember, I'm not saying like she's the one for me type shit. I'm just saying like this is like I didn't realize this till after I went on my trip. After she had left and went back, back home or whatever, and for like the past like 3 days after she was gone, I was like low key depressed. I was like, fuck, dude, like I'm not with nobody anymore. Like I just me in this place again and and then I got to go do the work grind again. It just felt kind of like a little lonely, you know what I'm saying? And I've never felt
like empty and shit.
Yeah, and I've never felt like that in my life. I was always just comfortable.
Did she feel that void at that moment?
I think somebody can. I'm not saying her specifically, but like I kind of liked it wasn't just me there watching TV with somebody. Like I never had a problem with being alone ever in my life until like just recently just hit me. I was like, fuck, like I kind of want to share something with somebody now. Like it just doesn't want to be me.
Yeah, because then you get so used to like being alone, right?
Yeah.
You forgot how it felt to have
to be with somebody
being there.
Yeah.
So then you're like, hey, I miss that feeling.
And then so I remember I went on that trip, and I remember that part when that eye turned sideways and I fell into that vagina. It was like a lot of pink with my shit.
Your psychedelic trip.
Just like my psychedelic trip, not like no.
Yeah, you just said trip and you're like going in the vagina. I was like, okay, this is getting like rated R.
Magic school bus, okay. No, so like when I went on my psychedelic trip, I remember there was like a lot of pink. And I'm no expert on what color is supposed to make people feel, but I'm assuming pink is like a very soft feeling color.
Nurturing,
like
nature.
Nurturing. And then after I got done with my trip, I was like, fuck, I remember everything was so dirty around me. I was like, fuck, I just went like, it just felt good. And then that's why I realized, like, damn.
You were back home, man.
Yeah, then I was like, damn, like, it's just me again. It's not the little green
in reality.
Dude. I'm like, damn, it's just me.
You're like, fuck.
It's just me in this apartment
The trip is over.
Yeah, and I think that's what I discovered about myself when I went on my trip. I was like, damn, I kind of want to. I think I'm hitting that age where I want to start to share something with my life with somebody else now, and be a partner with somebody, This run around being a bachelor shit is kind of getting worn out for me, I guess. I think that's what it is. But that's just something I learned about myself recently. I didn't know that was actually a thing until after I went on my awesome trip and came back, and then I rethink about things I was feeling recently, and like I felt like something was missing. I'm like, oh. It's somebody.
There you go,
you're
man.
You're gonna be happy now, Chris. You kind of done
Mushrooms
this.
is making you wake up and realize things before it's too late.
Yes.
Well, that's good. You're more. I guess you're getting into your loving side, or what would you call that?
Sensible side.
Sensible side.
Well, I picked a bad time to do it because we're in a fucking pandemic, so I should have hopped on this shit.
It's never a bad time.
Yeah, that's true.
Bob says, she said the mushrooms made her irritable. What does that mean?
Irritable, like it upset your stomach and shit, or just
irritated. I think the last batch, it did mess up my stomach too.
I've been good so far. I haven't got no epic trips yet, but
been having a little diarrhea. I was like, let me try some new batch because I have a new batch, fresh new batch.
Okay, it makes it irritable. Yeah, like my friend who
said that out loud.
My friend who visited me back in October. Yeah, she threw all our shit up.
Some people, it's like that.
I felt irritable at first. Sometimes when I'll get uncomfortable at first too. I'm like, I hate this feeling. Let me just ride through this. Once you get through it, I'm straight after that. I'm good. I'll put on some I can never watch anything depressing. I gotta watch something funny. Like I don't care.
Some comedy.
So I'll put on some Key and Peele or some shit. Like I gotta laugh or something. I'll be watching murder mysteries.
Okay, so your whole life is made up of decisions that is dictated by fear. Is that true? That's very true, right?
I agree with that.
A lot of shit is dictated by fear.
Yeah, I agree with that. 100%.
I think that's true for everybody. Fear is the driving force that shapes who you are and what you do. Fear is the foundations of your actions. Also true.
I agree.
100%. But I think fear, it's like a natural thing. It either protects you from shit, because of course you gotta have fear.
Yeah.
Or you're just gonna get in a lot of trouble.
That's true. Yeah. It's like
so I would never think of it as 100% like a bad thing. It's a good thing too, because it protects you from doing hood shit and getting fucked up. Going to a bad neighborhood. I'm not scared of this neighborhood. Then you get fucking light up.
It's there's some days I'm like, man, I'm just fucking sick of my job. I don't feel like going in today. But then I have this fear that if I don't go, I'll get fired. And if I get fired, I ain't paying rent and I'm going to be living in the streets. I'm like, that's why when I see some people fuck this, I'm quitting my job and then I'm going to do what I want to do as a dream. I'm like, yo, more power to you, man. That's like a fucking, that is some things I cannot do off like the rip just to take that chance, but I can see why like some people like if I don't jump off this cliff then and take this chance, then cause I guess like when they realize they don't have nothing to fall back on, it's like I have to fight extra harder to get what I want now. You know what I'm saying? But that fear of like, if that makes any sense, I don't know if I'm making sense.
I lost you. That's why I'm a little confused.
Well, so like also for example, say like a fear of like when I move forward to like I don't know like say like I want to be a I don't know, a singer or whatever.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about like a real cliff. But
no, like metaphorically cliff.
Okay.
Like some people like will straight up just quit their job and go full time following their dream.
Yeah.
But the average person won't do it out of fear of because like your job is what keeps that fucking roof over your head. So I was just thinking just how when people make that leap, I'm like, that's like some
leap of faith.
That's some real shit. That's
what makes good stories though.
Hell yeah. And it's kind of like because you don't have anything to fall back on.
Right.
You got to work extra harder to get that shit you're trying to get.
Like for example, like The Rock, right?
Yeah.
He says like when he moved out to wherever he moved out, he only had like $6 in his pocket.
Yeah.
And then he says, he says in the future, he's gonna be rich. He'll never be this broke again. Mm. And look at him now.
Damn, man owns
Look at him now.
And lives in Atlanta.
And he took that big risk. He had to fly out to whatever to start wrestling with only $6 in his pocket. Sometimes you just have to do that. But you really got to believe like in what you're doing. You can't just go like that blind, because then you'll be like, that's where you get super lost.
And you don't want to be mediocre at what you do. You better you got to be the best.
You could be like mediocre, I guess. You just got to have that drive, that passion to do it. Because there's a lot of people that's like mediocre at whatever they're doing, but they still were successful doing it.
Oh, gotcha.
So you don't have to be like super talented or anything. You just got to have like that passion to do like what you enjoy, and then it'll show.
And the reason why I was thinking like, the reason why I was thinking that mediocre wasn't gonna cut it, only because like if you watch like how, say like when The Rock first got into wrestling and all that, and how he was behind the mic and shit, it's like, yo, this dude's like he grabs your attention and shit like that. Like unlike any other wrestler,
most electrifying man in sports entertainment.
And I wasn't even a Rock fan growing up. I was a Stone Cold fan all day. I didn't really like The Rock like that. I thought he was trying to steal I thought he was trying to steal my boys' thunder, and I didn't like that. But
he was the bad guy, the corporate ministry or whatever.
At first, Nation of Domination.
Nation of Domination.
That's who he was with at first.
Farouk and shit.
Yeah, with Farouk and what's that dude? He always do like this weird neck swing thing.
D'Lo Brown.
D'Lo Brown. There you go. D'Lo Brown. Like, like yeah, he used to be with them back in the day. And once he got behind the mic, man, he was like, dude, he was better than even Stone Cold behind the mic. I was like, oh, this dude, I don't like him. He's a threat to me in a 360. I don't like this shit. But
the corporate elbow.
Yeah, but he did his thing. So he went beyond mediocre. He fucking got his own. It's like SmackDown was based off of him and shit. Like he got his own show. So
he evolved like when he went to like the movie industry.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was like when he started getting the big movie roles. I was like, yeah, this dude is done with wrestling. He might show up every now and again, but
then he kept on doing his thing. He got all these acting classes, and then you can tell like he was a little better. Mm-hmm. But you know who I think is a better actor than him that came out from wrestling?
I agree with you. I know what you're gonna say.
Batista.
Yes, I think he's fucking hilarious.
Batista's a better actor.
Dude is good.
Him too, Batista. I
hope he gets more roles, man.
He was good in fucking
Guardians,
Blade Runner, and Guardians of the Galaxy.
He was like in that movie for like 5 minutes, but he had it was a good scene though.
It was serious.
It's pretty intense.
All right, so wise words from the machine elves. This is when if you take psychedelics like hardcore enough, you'll get to meet these machine elves, these people in the other realms where they look like machines. That's why they get their nickname. And he was telling this guy about everything about like what fear and stuff, like how he was explaining like what fear is, like according to like how we live and shit. He's saying like everything in our life is made up of pieces, right? And the pieces all fit together. Like your life is supposed to run like a perfect piece of perfect machinery. But fear is like a fucked up shape that you'll put into that little mechanism, and fear would make that shit run like cricket. You're not running like, you're not being like your true self, because fear is still like holding you like from you living like your real life.
Okay.
So they're saying like if you look at like yourself like as a machine, if you have like so much fear to where you're not even gaining like no experience in new things, you're not learning nothing new, you'll never run like your real life.
No.
Your life is almost like you're living a fake life.
Yeah, true. Like you're not really trying to get your full potential, I guess. just
Yeah,
'cause you
your shit not really spinning. That shit's fucking crooked, like coming out the walls and shit.
It's like a wrench in the machine. You're like, I get that wrench out, man.
Got that nasty ass fear block in there.
Gotta cleanse it. That fear blockage.
I wonder if the machine elves can just fucking pull one of those little fear blocks out.
Yeah, what if they're like mechanics? It's like, yo, we got you now.
Yeah,
now that you know who you are, we can help you. Let's get
Yes, sir.
let's get this little gunk out. Let's clean all this gunk out. Let's get the machine running right. Cool. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, they're saying
dip.
like they can help like fix you and shit. They're like little doctors.
I always
help you fix
imagine
your
them.
body.
I always imagine them looking like puzzle pieces. So don't ask me why.
It could be
the
like-
body shape is like a puzzle for some reason. I
Yeah,
don't know.
maybe that's how yours look. Because they can come in like they can look like anything.
Mine was like the Among Us looking dude. I guess that's the closest I got. I don't know. I think that just might. I just been playing Among Us a lot, so I think that's just. I think that was just my brain making up some shit.
I guess it's just whatever you think like something that's a higher being would look like
And she was like,
randomly in your
It's
imagination.
Like, what does God look like to you? He can be black if he wants. He can be Asian. He's still a God, though.
My God is gonna have wings and no face. Kind of like Slender Man,
Sounds
but
like
he
a
has
horror
like,
movie.
he has like a fucking dragon tail and a dragon.
Why would you want to meet that?
That's my God.
I mean, it's cool. That shit sounds scary as hell. But
All right.
but if you're comfortable with it, I respect it.
I want to see that.
Jeremy
Okay, so-
says,
Oh, go ahead.
"What?
Oh, Jeremy says he never played Among Us.
Come on, man.
I played it like one time, but it wasn't. I'd rather play with people I know.
I played with some people I know. This shit was fun as hell.
Why wasn't I ever invited?
I was just like doing Thanksgiving and shit. I didn't know what was up. I know you was on some mac and cheese shit and whatnot.
Oh yeah, Bob made it.
No, I played it. There's some people that I've known almost all my life. I'm like, damn, I will never trust this motherfucker again because I believe them. It's like, yo, these people are. Woof, it's
I got a lot of experience with Mafia, so. But like
it's
playing
like that
that
shit. Yeah,
playing like Among Us, you can't really see the people's face, so that's gonna be like hard to read.
it's tough. It's tough. Some people I've seen them play it is like through Discord. We usually just use like the message shit and we just go separate places. And that's how we played it. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
we do like the little message board. Leave like a good time within like the accusation spot or whatever. So like everybody can like, get their, their thoughts together if they want to lie and shit.
But you guys are in the same house, you could just talk.
We can too, but sometimes it'd be like, some people got bad poker faces. Be like, I'll be in the next room because
I think it's better to play like real life.
I'd be like, yo, like sitting separate, like we be in the same room but sitting corners and all that. I'm like, that's fun to me. I like it that way. So you explain your case, like, man, you look like
Yeah, that's how Mafia was. That shit be lit.
Dude, love that. I haven't played the game in years, but I'm
Calling everybody out. I was like, Bob, she'll make this stupid face. I was like, you're fucking Mafia. I can feel you pointing at me, You could just feel it. Like, Bob should give it away so easy. That's why it's better to play real life because you see the real
reaction.
face.
Yeah, look him in the eye.
Yeah. And Jace, like when he play, it's like it's hard to tell because his face never changed at all. It's like,
stone
dude, we
cold.
can't even play with you. It's like looking at a wall. I can't tell the wall anything. It's crazy.
It's stone cold.
Right.
awesome.
So everything falls apart because of fear. Fear is like a software virus in your brain, like a programming parasite. How many times I said fear? I said it so many times. I'm gonna be thinking about it, and by the time I wake up, fear's gone.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it's
I'm
going
gonna be driving backwards to work. It's like, man, this
The
is
whole time?
no fear. Catch me, cops.
Fear what? Yo.
Be healing and shit.
Oh shit. But yeah, is there like any kind of fears that would you like to overcome yourself, or anything you want to get past, or
I should have wrote it down. I have a lot of fears. Spiders. But not like that though.
oh,
Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I have a lot, but I didn't write it down. But let me finish this.
Oh, yeah,
Maybe
my
I'll
fault.
come up like in my head.
Okay.
All right. So the reason you have so much fear is because you have been paying attention to chaos for too long.
Oh,
So
hell
if
yeah.
you came from chaos, you still pay attention to chaos. So that's like if you came from somewhere hood or somewhere like, well, it's just fucking crazy. You're attracted to that shit.
And yeah, it's all you know.
I mean, but sometimes it's entertaining. So, I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
What did Jeremy say?
Oh,
He says Jay's got that poker face.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Bob got that sleep paralysis.
Yeah, that's her fear.
Speaking of sleep paralysis, they're saying that Cambodians are like the number one people in the world to get sleep paralysis.
I got that.
Which I was like, where are you getting these numbers? Because Cambodians, they don't even go to the doctor.
Yeah, y'all got that.
And then on top of that, they're not going to go to a specialist like a sleep doctor. So So I don't know where they get these numbers from.
I wouldn't even pay for a sleep doctor. I'll just look that shit up on Google or something.
I almost did. I didn't go though.
For real? How much they charge?
I set an appointment, then I got scared. The fear kicked in. I was like, I don't want to go to a sleep doctor. Because I'm thinking like you have to sleep overnight so they can study you.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to do that. I can't even sleep. Like I can barely sleep at home.
Yeah, okay. I thought about going one time back when I was in the military, only because the military paid for it, and I wanted to get like, because I'm almost certain I do have sleep apnea. But
I think that causes paralysis too. I think that might be the reason of paralysis, like scientific form, because my breathing be off.
Oh yeah, that's sleep. Like there's times where people have like need machines to like.
Jeremy says something that I completely agree on. He says, if your parents filling your head with "don't do this, don't do that," that builds fear.
Yeah.
That is very true.
Right.
My parents, they're always trying to stop us from doing anything that they think is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like don't do drugs, which I think is normal. But
it is pretty normal.
They'll say like when I want to start a band and shit, it's just like, oh, why are you doing that? It's like devil stuff. She's saying, oh, why you want to do that for? I was like, what the hell? Like, I'm just trying to have fun. Like, that's what I want to say. I was like, I'm just trying to have fun. What's your problem, Mom? But I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
But she would always like put me down like that. I'm like, dude, what's her problem? She don't want to let me do anything.
Yeah.
So, I end up stealing her car. And
what the fuck?
I would take her car like in the school night and just fucking drive around doing crazy shit.
What the hell?
She never knew. Then I will come back home and just put the keys back, go to sleep for like an hour. Up school time.
Did you fill the car back up with gas? Or like
No, I was a kid.
Damn, she didn't notice?
No.
Oh, man.
That was her fault. She was trying to block me from everything. Trying
to keep you in that
There was
bubble.
other shit. Like, there was so much stuff. Like, she told us not to join a gang, which is normal too, right?
It's
But there's a whole bunch of shit like my mom doesn't like. She's always afraid of like what would happen.
It's kind of like just
she don't want you like
type.
to be homeless and shit.
Yeah, I mean that's understandable, but
like like for example, on Thanksgiving, right? Like me, Jeremy, Bob, we played at the online casino.
Okay.
Like just for fun, because it was like Thanksgiving and everybody left, so we're like, hey, let's just play at the online casino.
Yeah.
And then we played like in front of my mom, and my mom's face was like, she's like, you're gonna waste all your money and you're not gonna be able to pay for your house. I was like, chill,
I got this.
Because I only put like $40 in it. We were just playing for fun, and she always looked at me like worried, like, damn, she's just gonna put all his money in there.
You're gonna lose everything.
I was like, this is a holiday. We're just
chilling,
having fun, It's better than going to like Vegas real casino and wasting way more money.
$40 ain't. Whoa.
Yeah.
You blow that shit away trying to take money out the ATM.
There's other shit. I know Bob. Like, I know she put a lot of fear like into Bob, and Bob was a pretty bad child too. I think she was one of the most baddest ones.
Did she join a gang?
She didn't join a gang, but she was barely home.
Damn.
She would sneak out and do God knows what. I don't know. But
gang shit.
They told her, hey, you can't be going out like that and doing your thing and blah blah blah. You have to be home at this time. You come late and all this.
We'll lock you out. Like some shit. Yeah, my household was a little different. My parents was like, as long as you're not murdering somebody, like we'll back you up 100%.
Do your thing.
Have fun.
Yeah. Like with my parents, they just want you to have like a regular job. Don't do nothing like that will risk anything. They didn't even tell us to go to school or anything.
Shit.
They didn't. I don't think they trust us to have like a successful job or anything. They didn't say, hey, go to school, become a doctor. They didn't say any of that, or go be a lawyer or whatever. I don't think they had faith in their own kids. So they didn't tell us to do anything like with high paying like professions. They didn't tell us to do none of that, because I think they thought that we just suck. So they just said, hey, just go get a job. Just go get a warehouse job or whatever.
Go do your job.
They don't tell us to be great at all. They never told us to be great. That was like one thing that.
Yeah, and you gotta instill that in your kids. Like, let them know they can be fucking. I remember when I was a kid, and I'm not even. Maybe I was like 4 or 5. My mom was like, I was like, Mom, I want to be president. She's like, baby, you can be anything you want to be. Ain't no way I'm not. I was there. Ain't no way in hell.
My mom said that.
Be.
Shit, I would have been like right next to Andrew Yang.
Yo, for real, that dude.
And my mom said, "Hey, you could be a president." I was like, "You damn right, Mom." And I'm like 5 years old. I'm like, "Yeah."
Actually, like Andrew
it's going down.
Like, got it.
But nope, my mom didn't tell me shit. But I mean, I don't think like they had like the knowledge to even give us advice like that because they came from like a country where they were going through like a genocide. So I don't think they even had like the knowledge to say, hey, you should go do this, do that. Because I think they were confused themselves, so they didn't know what to tell us. So I don't think it's their fault.
It seems like that thing that they may kind of put more stock in the most is basically like survival, if anything, you know? I mean, because you said like they went through the whole genocide and all that, escaping the country. And maybe just simple, just like, hey, survive.
Yeah,
like,
just
don't
survive.
Be fucking homeless. Like, work any job you can. Just don't.
Be safe.
Yeah, be safe. Don't be in that shit.
Exactly. I think they were just trying to be in survival mode, and they just don't want to see us on the streets.
Yeah. And life has got to be more than just simple surviving. It took me a while to get out that rut, too. I'm like, I just want to do this and make ends meet. But I'm like, that's not really living life. That's just...
living a quarter mile all the time.
For real.
Jeremy says, my mom told me I could be an artist when I was 6.
There you go.
See, my mom didn't tell me shit. My mom said, you suck. But my siblings said that too. So, screw you, Bob. Every time I drew something like, oh, that's ugly. I was like, all right.
Like, I hear you.
Like, fuck, it is ugly. I'll stop.
Damn, and that's it.
Okay, let's get back to this. All right, so so fear might be a design flaw or a side effect of survival mechanism, but fear is the reason why everything is messed up. The reason for your depression is not seeing the positive side to everything. You worry about things that don't even matter, like stuff like you can't even control, like you see on the news and stuff. That's why I don't watch the news. It's like, yeah, it's bad, but I can't do nothing. Hearing about a volcano that blew up in Zimbabwe, I was like, that's sad, but like, I can't do nothing about it. So that's like you're like overthinking about something that you have no control over.
It's only making you more sad.
Yeah, either more sad or you're losing your own focus on what you have control over in your own life.
That's true.
Because like, let's say if none of this exists, no internet, no TV, you wouldn't even know in the first place anyway.
Yeah.
Right. So I think one of the drawbacks of the internet is we're getting too much information from around the world. I don't think we're even supposed to, know so much shit about the world like that.
I don't know.
Because it breaks people down. I can see a lot of people, they get stuck watching all this crazy shit. And then, of course, we all end up hearing about it. Shit goes viral. And then we end up hearing it. It's like shit that we can't even control.
Especially if you live in a world where you have a cell phone, it is hard to dodge like fucking news. It's damn near impossible. But I always thought about this too. I feel like probably the happiest people on the planet as of right now are probably these people that live on these islands.
Sentinel Island?
Like the one that killed that dude that came there trying to give him the Bible. They probably happy as fuck there. That's their world. They probably be having like little parties there, be turning up, but it's like no Wi-Fi connection or nothing. They probably are just so damn happy. Like
people that's completely off the grid, no technology. Because like that one artist, that Asian guy, what's his name? David something. Cho. Fuck, I should know his name because he was on the Rogan podcast. Well, he was asking like the people that was in the jungle that he chilled with, right? He's like, one of the guys is like a model. He's like, hey man, let me take you back to America. You could be a model. I'll make you a lot of money. Then you know what that guy said?
What?
He said, why would I go to America? Like, what we heard is like people over there jump off buildings.
Oh shit!
Like, I was like, oh shit! Like, why would I go to a place where people they kill themselves by jumping off a building
because they're not happy,
right? And then these people, they're like so connected with nature, right? They can pretty much talk to birds and shit, and the birds will be like their lookout for like looking for a monkey.
Shit.
That dude was like, and then the bird's like, cheep cheep cheep, and then it's like, right over there. The monkey's right over there. And then like, yeah, because then he'll tell the bird to go, the other tree to go check that shit out, right? Like to be the spotter. And the bird will tell him like, cheep, 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 right there. And then the dude's like, over there. Then they grab that monkey by the balls.
He's drinking water. Like, get him now.
That shit's so cool. Like they can talk to animals
That's
and shit.
dope.
They're that connected to nature, like to where they understand how animals and communicate with them to be like partners.
We would never be on that level. It's too late. We far past that shit.
That's just so cool, man.
And they probably so happy, man. I be thinking about these people on these islands and shit. I'm like, yo, because and I'll be watching documentaries about them sometimes, and you know how humanity is with their helicopters and shit. They always want to check in on them, make sure they ain't fucking dead or nothing. But for the most part, I mean, it seems like they talk about like how when these people, not even so much islands, just even like in the Amazon rainforest, a lot of these tribes, it's like they're born there and they die there. That is it. That's their whole life right there. And they make their life of what it is. It's like no distractions of what's going on.
Would you trade this life for that life though?
As of right now, no, because I would probably fucking die if I didn't.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be able to survive that shit.
I wouldn't say it's impossible, but it's a hard transition from like how we were brought up. So we're just gonna have to live like this.
Now, I would like to like experience it. Maybe my next life. I'm born into this world of like, okay, this is a little tribe. What are we out here chilling? You know, fighting jaguars and shit in South America. You know,
saber-tooth tigers.
Fucking, what's that movie Apocalypto? Getting on some shit like that.
Ooh,
you know,
human sacrifice.
Right. Actually, no, I don't want to do all that shit. That was too much. I don't know.
If I was reborn, I want to come back in the Egyptian era.
Oh hell yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
My mom be like, "You're gonna be the pharaoh. Say no more, fam.
Gotcha.
I'ma light this place up. Like, don't make me a pharaoh. Those guys are gonna die before the pyramids even built, you know."
Oh shit.
Where was I? All right, so solutions that the machine elves offered. He says your emotion problem is caused by blocking the flow of love through you.
Yeah.
And you don't have to do that no more. You just got to be open and shit. If someone's like throwing love at you, just take it all in. Doesn't matter who it is, strangers or whatever. They say, "Hey, nice pants. Hey, man, thank you.
Accepted.
He likes my pants."
I took a hit to my ego the other day.
Take the love.
I was telling a friend of mine, like she had told me something, and I was like, I could give you a hug right now. That was like a really sweet thing that you just did. She's like, "Why are you acting like that?" I was like, "Oh, ouch!" Like I was like, I'm trying to.
She's dealing with something.
I was hoping you could reciprocate it back, the same emotion I'm putting out there. And I was like, damn. And I started thinking about, I was like, you know what? I can't let people make me feel that way, because then it makes me shut off. Like I'm not gonna share nothing I feel anymore.
Yeah.
So so I'm like,
but keep doing that same thing.
That energy out there. Yeah, that was just like, I feel like I got rejected. I was like, holy fuck, this shit hurt my feelings a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. And I got a tough skin.
But when they act like that, that's a reflection of themselves.
Yeah.
That's their ugly side.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say it's like ugly
side. We do have a repertoire of like, we always crack jokes and diss each other and all that other stuff. But then the one time I'm like, I'm being genuine.
You try to break that little
I'm like, not even trying to break anything, just showing like
friendship barrier.
Well, not even so much. That's just more like I'm just like showing like a genuine like, oh damn, that's really sweet that you promised somebody you would do this and you coming through for them, because most people wouldn't have gone through and done that, and I appreciate it. I was like, I'll give you a hug. That's real nice. We need more people like that.
Next time, just force that hug.
Stop moving. You want to squeeze you
Stop moving.
Stop
and
trying
then
to
she
bite
just
me.
stops breathing.
God, just crush her.
Where was I? All right, so use love, joy, and hope as a remedy to transform your fears. Past doesn't matter. You can use psychedelic as meditation therapy because it can help you relax, and then you can just let go. Because like when I do like micro trips now or microdose trips, that shit it makes my mind flow. Like to where I just lay down and just let my brain like carry like whatever my imagination takes.
Hell yeah.
And that's like, to me, that's like the best shit. It's almost better than tripping, because tripping, if you trip, it's hard to be in control.
Now if you just laying down, relaxing, like not even thinking about anything, just let your mind.
Yeah,
like,
it's
just
crazy how
autopilot type shit.
Yeah, it's like your brain is autopilot. It's like you're not even thinking of anything, but your brain is creating all these images.
Dude, I loved it.
So the vision trips, it's fucking awesome. I like it. And then this is like the time where like you don't even think about nothing like in the world. Like you're just completely relaxed, and then your brain is doing all the work. Like you have like, you're thinking about nothing, not work. You're not thinking of, the show next week. You're not thinking of shit.
Yeah, and it's kind of really hard to explain, because like I know some people that are probably like, well, how can your brain operate and do all this stuff if you're not thinking? I don't know. I just know it's like I literally was not thinking about anything, or when you take that psychedelic trip, that I think this is a true trip, the good trip that I think everybody needs to go on at least once in their life.
Yeah, at least once.
Just like
a real trip.
Because it felt like your brain's kind of tell you like, hey, relax. You're like your work is done for now. We're gonna just like, we're gonna take you on a ride for a second. And just it was like traveling through the universe and shit, man. It's so relaxing.
It's cool. I think like for anyone like to be like the most successful and stuff, if you're able to shut off your mind and not think of shit, I think like you kind of made it.
Yeah.
You're not thinking of nothing.
Just like
doop. It's like you just shut your whole brain down.
I think one of the best things about too, like at least for me, I know everybody's different, but it's not even like even to take on like something like this for maybe therapeutic reasons or whatever. It's not even like an addiction thing too. Because I haven't taken any since what's today, Wednesday. I haven't taken any since last Friday. And I've been straight. I'm like, it's just I just take it like, okay, I kind of feel like I need like, okay, I'm stressed out. Let me just delve into it a little bit. Let me turn my brain off for a second.
That's the good thing about it. It's not addicting at all.
Hell no.
Like I don't feel like I have to do it. Okay, so not all fear is bad. He says your fear can be useful because we talked about it earlier. It can protect you against a lot of dangerous situations in life, and it can protect you from bad experiences. Like we were saying, hey, if you think this neighborhood is bad, hey, that fear is going to say, don't go into that neighborhood, or, you might get light up. So stop being scared. Start looking at the world like how you were like when you're a kid. If we think back to when we were a kid, we're almost, well, for me, I was like invincible. Like I'll do anything. I'll probably like jump off the house. I did jump off the house, but I did anything that I wanted to do because I was always curious. I wanted to know more about everything. And that shit was like fearless. But then as I got older and I realized, hey, dude, you got locked up just for speeding. You can get into a lot of more trouble. So that shit kind of fucked me up. Like after that, that shit fucked me up, man. That one experience.
That's when I got with my DUI. I was like, oh fuck. I was like, this shit is expensive as shit. It's like I will never do this again. This was horrible. And like I said, it's like
I think like that's like my fear. Is fear of being like locked up.
Fuck, no, I would
like taking my freedom away.
I've watched TV shows like Oz and shit when growing up. That is no. That's a no. That's a horror show right there. You don't want to be in prison.
Yeah. So it makes him like not do anything like extreme like that,
Also too, like
which sucks.
Like I watch documentaries all the time, and I watch some shit about like prisoners who like either in they either get put in isolation or whatever the case may be. And a lot of these prisoners, like, the worst part about being in prison is that, you get bored. And when boredom happens, that's when people get into trouble, shit starts happening, wild shit starts going down. And this is one of my environments is like, holy fuck, like, it kind of like dampens like, okay, I'm the type of person who's like outgoing, I got dreams, I want to do this. Like, a prison is like, contains all that shit. You ain't gonna be, like, they take all your shit away. And
you got to make dreams inside prison.
Just to make it. And what if you got 25 years? You better be dreaming every day for 25 years, I guess. I don't know.
That's scary, man, having that freedom taken away.
Dude, hell yeah. And you get out and guess what? It's like, what the fuck? Like, you guys have cell phones in your hands now? Like, this is like, because technology's going to pass in 25 years.
On top of that, you can't even get a job.
Oh, hell yeah.
So you have to create your own job.
I think Florida just finally actually, no, Florida didn't. Actually, they have this thing where if you're a felon, you can vote now, but that job thing is kind of like that shit's crushing. It's just tough.
Well, they can use their imagination, all that thinking they had.
Yeah. This is one guy I watch on YouTube. I forget his channel's name. I've been watching for a while now. He talks about, basically, like, he went to prison for, like, I think, like, 12 years for, like, robbing a bank or some shit. But after he got out, he had trouble, like, getting a job and whatnot. He started his own YouTube channel. That shit's like blowing the fuck up. He's doing good. He's like, he tells prison stories and shit. He like, getting them cheeks clapped and whatever. He says like funny catchphrases like that, but it's funny.
You heard about the guys that was in prison? They made their own podcast.
In the prison?
Then like it blew up.
I think I heard something about that.
In the prison. They're like, how the fuck were they able to fucking film that shit or record it? Dude, that stream just died. Damn, fuck. We were on a roll too.
For real.
But I was almost done. I'll continue.
Okay.
All right. So I mean, for you to fix a lot of these things, you can meditate a lot, learn how to meditate, and just try to do it daily because it'll help because it'll put you in a relaxed state, and that's when you start your healing process. And you don't really need mushrooms to do any of this. You can start meditating, learn how to meditate, like look up, like I forgot what kind of music it was, but it's like a music where it plays on like both ears, like balance, and it's like I guess meditation music.
Okay.
You just listen to that and just lay down and just relax, like shut the world out, and do this like for like 10 minutes a day, and it can help reduce like anxiety, and then you start to open up and start healing and shit.
Yeah.
Meditation is powerful, man.
Yeah. I think everybody, especially if you like you like us normal folks that works like that regular grind of work and deal with traffic and all that. Take some time to like take care of yourself. At least like we said, like what 10, maybe 15 minutes a day or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Take some time out of the day, just like
10 minutes is good.
Shut the world off for like 10 minutes a day. Just like stop grinding for a second. Relax.
Which I mean, it is hard to just stop everything.
It is fucking tough
because you have like the internet in front of you, the TV in front of you. You're always being fed with all this fucking exciting stuff.
Especially if you're
games in front of you. You can get any game you want. You don't even have to go to the store no more.
Especially if you have like a set routine set up for your life too. Like for like I have this thing where like I come home from work, boom, get undressed, get dinner set up, everything like that. Boom, 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 fix dinner. After that, go take a shower, get out, eat. It's like no space in between that, squeezing stuff for like that for me, like like meditation.
Yeah.
So, and I've always wanted to start doing meditation, but it's one of the things like, well, I don't really have time for it. Well, I need to start making time for it. Just find like a 10-minute window.
Yeah, you can make time for it because I say the same thing too.
Because that 10 minutes I could have been on Facebook, I could have been meditation time.
Yep.
Gotta flip it out.
Work on that mental therapy, man. It's very important, dude.
Hell yeah.
Because it helps you make like better choices too. Because if your mind is like clear like that, you can make better decisions and life choices, a lot of better life choices. I believe so. If your mind is clear like that.
Yeah, I've been reading I'm reading like fucking 3 books right now, but one I was reading recently is from radio DJ Charlamagne the God. He has this book called Shook Ones, and it's basically about a book about anxiety and shit like that, about how like with his growing up in his background, how he wound up getting anxiety from like just like from him like growing up, and as an adult, it started kind of like spiraling out of control. Where he's like, okay, now like I go to my therapist once a week, go talk, we break it down. But he just talks about like how anxiety, like it's basically a book on like how to deal with anxiety because, for example, like within the Black community, going to a therapist. It's not. I don't think it's so much anymore. But going to see a therapist or anything like that was like a huge like no. It's like, man, where you gonna go to a quack for?
Same with the Asian community.
Or like, what did you like? That's for white people type shit. And it's like, well, Black community has a lot of like fucking anxiety issues or PTSD from just living in a neighborhood that's like constantly bullets flying everywhere or some kind of wild shit. It's like how can you really deal with that type of shit? And never get any help.
If you never ever talk about it,
Yeah, and like a lot of times in the Black community, be like, oh, just go to church, and that shit's not. I don't think that's like a feasible answer to like getting your mental health deal with. It may help for some on some level, but I feel like really actually getting like to the meat and potatoes of that shit of like, I mean, therapy helps and whatnot too, or like it talks about like meditation or shit, drinking tea and shit, like it's like little shit that helps you calm down a little bit. And
tea time,
let's go.
We should run that one time.
Tea time?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right, so remember that you were on a mission, and all the pain we're dealing with, this shit's all necessary. It's all a part of life. Mm-hmm. So don't shy away from anything that causes pain, because that's a part of life. If you feel pain, you can move on, grow from it, learn from it, and then carry on, do your thing.
Use as a building block. Kate
Long says, "Does therapy really work though, or are you just thinking out loud?" See, I never went to therapy. So.
I've never been.
I would think like it would help if you to talk to somebody like you don't know, and they're giving you like insight from a different point of view from people that you wouldn't expect to hear answers from.
I think the closest I've been to like a therapist has been like there's been times where I've came back from like deployment, like I think like a couple of deployments where we've had to make a stop at a country, whatever, and then they evaluate you, make sure you ain't like lose your fucking mind over there and shit like that. I think even just having somebody that's willing to listen to you is good therapy, and that's free. If you got a good friend that cares about you,
Yeah.
something like that, like talking helps out a lot and helps you break down a lot of shit.
Like this right here, like us doing the podcast every week, this is like
Therapeutic.
my therapy
This
because
is
we
it.
get to talk about whatever the
Hell
fuck we
yeah.
want.
It is like a lot of times, like for example, like I was describing earlier, like I think what I really want is like I want to share my life now with somebody else. I would have never said that shit to anybody else out loud, but this is like the open environment for us to get shit off our chests. Like we feel something, we want to explain it, and I would have never said that shit to anybody else if they asked me.
But on this show, let it all out.
Let it all out.
Let
it
it
felt
all
so
out.
good because it's something that I didn't even want to face.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like people, they hold a lot of shit back. So this is something that they deal with like forever. If you're holding shit back, it's gonna stay stuck on you, and you're never just. It's almost like living a fake life too, because you're not letting go of like whatever you're just holding back. You never want to express anything.
Yeah, for real.
It's like that. Katie says, you're just paying money to think out loud. How does that make you feel?
That is a lot of money though.
Feels good.
I know some people who have paid like
Feels good.
they take like maybe therapy once a week and it'll be like $400 or some shit for like
Yeah.
an hour session. But that's the rate they charge. That's the rate they charge. You can find somebody cheaper. I mean, $400 is like a lot to me though. I'm cheap.
I want to be like that therapy guy,
Yeah.
I think I can do it.
Sit down, listen to somebody. I feel like I do it all the time. Listen to people's problems. And I'm just a good listener. I'm like, okay, because sometimes people
Just have a little notepad,
fucking tic-tac-toe.
and then you're not even writing anything.
And then sometimes it's like not even people that want answers. Because I have a friend in particular who always tells me her problems, right? And I'll listen to them. And over time, I would give her advice, and she would never listen. And I think it took me years to realize this. But what it was is like, she's not looking for answers. She's just looking for somebody just to listen to her problems. And
a lot of
just,
people are like that.
Yeah, it's like nobody's really looking for answers. Just like, let's listen to my bullshit.
They don't want your answers. They don't want your opinion. They just want to
I
just
need-
want to talk about it.
I just need an ear. I just need your ear, not your mouth. Don't say anything. Just
It's like, well,
listen
you should
to
do
me.
this. No, you shut your mouth.
that's not why you're here.
Katie says, I will seriously drive to Real Housewives of Georgia and bitch slap y'all if you split up. Oh,
That's splitting up? Nah, we ain't going nowhere.
fighting words.
Are you trying to get down with this?
All right, so defeat fear, live your true life. Think about the universe, dude. They reward bravery. If you think about it, if you're brave to do like some crazy shit, dude, they will reward you, man.
Yeah.
They'd be like, here, take this for jumping out of that plane, metaphorically speaking.
Yeah.
But doing something that, would be considered something brave, like moving to another state so you can open up a mental therapy session with psychedelics and shit where it's legal. Because I thought about that,
You
man.
ain't got to worry about no Georgia red tape. It's going to stop
I
you.
thought about that. I was like, I'm going to have to leave Georgia maybe
Colorado,
5-10 years.
You have to go out to, what state we got it out? Not on this side. Fuck. What, Colorado? Probably the closest, maybe?
I guess. Washington,
Yeah,
Oregon.
Washington.
Oregon is legal.
Does it snow in Washington? I'm
Well,
sure it
in
does.
Cali, it's certain cities is legal. And speaking of Cali, they're legalizing like places where you can take ketamine in therapy.
Mm-hmm. They're legalizing it?
Yeah, to have it in a therapy session.
Oh, shit, for real?
So people would take like
Hey.
ketamine and fucking get in that K-hole and be fucked up.
Yo, that KO. Ooh, I thought I was watching something right before I left my apartment today, too, about ketamine.
But ketamine is not like a psychedelic. It's
Nah.
weird how they have treatments for shit like that. I mean, because I never tried it, so I'm not sure like how you feel
Yeah,
off
what
of
a big
it.
trip, yeah.
But it's pretty much like a really strong tranquilizer.
Yeah. I think
Really
so.
strong, 'cause
Sounds
they-
like a horse tranquilizer type shit.
Yeah, it's like
so,
a horse tranquilizer.
I would never try shit like that. That's a little too much for me.
Yeah, if you take like too much, like if you sniff too much of that ketamine, you pass out immediately, and your body be like numb. Your whole body is numb. Like you're not even enjoying it.
How can you have fun like that? You just like fucking
I don't know.
straight paralyzed.
I mean, if they're having like a place where you can take it legally, like in a therapy session, it's like
Yeah,
I would
like
think it has
doses,
some type
yeah.
of benefit.
You can't just be like, oh, I'll take all of that shit.
Yeah. Bob says Oregon, yes.
Yes, we keep saying Washington.
Katie
Yes,
says,
Oregon.
yeah, but psychedelics are more spiritual purposes for opening a third eye than dealing with daddy and mommy issues. Yeah. I mean, my go-to would be psychedelics.
Yeah, I remember.
It's more, You're more connected.
My fault. I didn't mean to interrupt. I was trying to think of something. I just had something that popped in my brain. Because I was upset about something like Sunday or Monday. And I was like, I want to take some shrooms. But because I was upset like Monday, I was like, nah, I'm not going to try to use this as like a escapism. Like how, because I know how I am. Like I would get like upset about something. And I'm like,
You probably might have a bad trip.
yeah, it would like, even in the past before where I would be like, I'm upset about something. I'm like, man, I want to drink and just forget about it. And that's it's like a horrible way. This is a fucking horrible habit to get into. If you're going to drink occasionally, then do it for like, having a party or some shit or people over. But I don't know. I'm trying to get to this point where I'm not trying to use anything as like escapism anymore from like the world, because that's a horrible habit to get into and you become way too reliant on it.
Like coffee.
Yes, I really drink coffee. That shit, woof. That's good. I like it if I'm trying to say it, but man, it tears my stomach up.
Yep. So yeah, universe rewards bravery. Go out and do some cool bravehood shit. Go out there, make mistakes, learn, help each other, be nice, give and accept love, be kind, rewind. Go out, just have fun, man. Go fuck a stranger or something. Eat out a hooker, or, you know. And don't forget to meditate.
Yeah,
After you
first.
eat out the hooker or whatever tickles your pickle. But just live your life, man.
Hey,
don't live in that fear zone.
I know. Because then when it's time for you
I'm
to
gonna do some crazy shit tomorrow.
When it's time for you to leave this planet, you be like, damn, I wish I'd done so much. And you don't want to live a life like that. Especially if your next life you might be a cockroach and you can't do as much. You ain't got enough thumbs.
You can only run so fast from getting stomped.
For real. Unless you got wings. You fucking fly.
Evolve. Right? I'm evolved for him. Get hit with a fly swatter. Bob says you need non-dairy creamer.
I just drink mine straight black. I don't put any cream in it.
I drink mine straight black too.
For real? Oh, for real. Let's go, man.
I don't need no extra flavors, man.
For real, man. You get put some hair in your chest.
I just need to wake up.
Yeah, for real. That's all I need it for.
Give me some fucking strong caffeine shit, dude. Like 500 milligrams of caffeine.
And my people's like this.
Fucking shaking like this while driving.
Like, fuck.
Fuck, I'm gonna get pulled over. That's wild.
Oh, shit.
You have anything to input before we close out this show?
Nah, this is a good one, man. This is one of my personal favorites right here. This was very educational.
Good therapy session.
Good therapy session, for real.
Would have like
a doctor.
Part of the family out here listening to shit.
Yeah, like a doctor, man. You're good at this shit.
I should be like a doctor, huh?
Oh, yeah.
I wish you were my mom when I was a kid.
It's not too late.
It's never too late. You're doing a good job with this.
It's never too late.
You're right, man. It's never too late.
No, I'm talking about for me to be your mom. Like,
oh.
Like, I can still be that if you want it.
Never too late.
Never too late.
That'd be awesome, man.
I got you, man.
All right, guys. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight in this fun episode.
Yeah.
So next week, we're going to continue back on the regular scheduled program, which is on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Make sure you guys rate, subscribe, comment, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Yeah.
Peace out. Adios.